Good question to ask.
Hold on.
I kind of.
Hold on.
I want to know. Hold on. Good question to ask him.
He said.
Does he believe that they're saying?
No. He said something that brings up a sensitive point.
It sounded like the white men kill him.
He said.
The white man's more
He
dangerous
said, hold
than them.
on. And he said, yeah, that let somebody come and do like a suicide bomb thing, to one of my family members and let me see what I'm saying.
Okay.
I said already, you know, that I don't support them activities there, yeah, but I also don't support European imperialism. And I'm saying that the European imperialist narrative, about radical Islam, not that radical Islam is correctional, I am saying that their narrative is used
Content over everything.
to justify their foreign policy, their invasion of people's countries, their mass murder of people in their homelands. But I am saying that. Hold on. So I'm saying that. I am saying 7/7 bombing.
9/11.
Right. I knew somebody. Who perished in that. He was a close brethren of one of my closest brethren, and he was a monthly contributor to my organisation. I knew the brother personal. It didn't change. My political perspective on the issue. What happened was wrong. And but what they call.
So how do you say it's justified then?
I didn't say. Did I say it's justified?
I thought you did.
I did not. I said, the British narrative, the narrative that seeks to defend Britain, from radical Islam, is little more than a justification. This is what they use to say we're going to invade this nation and that nation and that nation.
They set it up
right?
on purpose.
And it's just another extension.
Hey, my brothers,
That's
been
by
1 year of gang, like 1 year of gang, innit, Big up all the man them. Look, we've been out here doing our thing. Look, the masses have multiplied and triplified and whatever. And you like out here talking about the continent and talking about the people and talking about the lifestyles and the things.
But we was also in the G circle, man.
I love that shit.
Don't lie.
No. This ain't for you, Shaka.
All right.
Yeah, I love that shit. Yeah, I just wanted to know. I just want to know because. Fam,
go on.
I'm saying, fam,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I just want to know, if anyone here present has got any like words that they want to speak on, like, you know, we're trying to mark a birthday, and you know, I just want to know if anyone has any interest to speak on anything to do with the gang. Nah, man, it's cool. But what are you like talking about? Religion?
All right,
religion.
No,
What's it about?
religion.
What is it about? Tell me what it's about.
We was having a conversation.
Where Callum stands.
About
social political issues.
Callum's support of Robinson and the EDO and what that means to us as a community, as black people. So that's what we were conversing. But I get what you're saying. Anybody got something to say in support of gang?
Big up gang.
Right now.
Yo, long live
Well done, gang. 1 year anniversary.
That's right.
Salute.
Keep doing what you do.
Salute to the team.
My G.
Big up, gang.
So let's talk about Tommy Robinson, because I think it sounds good.
We've had an over-hour conversation already, right?
We've had like 2 hours of that.
Yeah, I'm saying.
2 hours.
But all I'm saying is, I forgot where I was in the thing. Right. What I'm saying is, right. This is right. And I'm saying, when look. If you watch, things like Newsnight and Question Time and This Week and that kind of things there, you understand, that there are narratives, we live in an information age. There are narratives pushed to the public to justify certain acts of the government. It doesn't mean that there is not a problem with whatever they're talking about, but it does mean that them man there are going to couch it in a certain way, that supports the authority of British imperialism. These people are invaders and oppressors, and they have been that from creation. They have never not been that, right? They have never not been that. So I'm saying, even if to me,
you agree with that? They're invaders.
Even if to me,
they've been that from time.
Islamic.
We spoke about it already.
You think the white people are oppressors?
No, I didn't say that.
Who are you describing?
We're talking
this?
I was talking about the British society.
So do you think British people are oppressors by history?
Not British society. We're talking about the
How is British society not oppressive?
Establishment. What you gonna say?
This is the colonizer nation. The British nation is the colonizer nation.
So the British public, right, are not oppressors. They're not oppressing each other, are they? They're not oppressing anybody. They're not.
But that would be incorrect,
right? So,
because the British have oppressed their own people as well.
Can I finish?
A white man, he was 50-something years old. His name was Michael, right?
Yeah.
And I asked him, "Are you proud of what you've done in the world, colonizing the whole world?"
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Deep down, I am."
Yeah.
So you tell me, like, what? Are they doing good?
That's fine. That's fine. Now, again, it's the government, right, and the army and so forth that's going on invading these other countries, right?
Who makes the government? Who makes the army? It's the British public, bro.
So no, it's not. Because
we're not dealing with consignment.
The British public,
they actually signed themselves up to be in the army.
Going
the British
to Iraq.
public signs themselves up to be in the army, and they sign them up, and they vote vote
we
for
all,
them.
as a community, as a people,
But the British,
marched and
but the
said we were
British
against
nation,
it. We was
but the
against
British
it.
nation
We was
went to
against
war
it.
in
But
Iraq.
guess what? The government
But the
still
British nation-
superseded us
but
and still
exactly.
went over
So
and done
this
war.
nation
it's not
is
the
an
British
oppressive
public.
nation.
It's not the British public.
But this
Because-
nation
because
is an oppressive nation.
Guess why?
Support the
Because
army.
you're British, and you're not
This
oppressors.
nation
not
is
British.
an
That's simple.
oppressive
We're not
nation.
white, man.
I'm not British.
This
I'm not
nation,
British. I revolt that.
bro.
I rebuke
I'm
that
saying
claim.
what I
Give
said
me your
was.
passport then. Give me
No,
your passport.
no, I said
Give me your
the thing
passport.
was right. But
Give me
I
your
said,
passport.
hold on,
Stick to your Nigerian passport.
let's not divert. What I said was,
passport.
this nation is an oppressive nation.
British.
Yeah, and I stand on that.
Okay.
This nation is an oppressive nation,
an institution.
right? And I am saying that they manipulate propaganda.
Yeah.
Yes. Through and you have at different levels. So the government will do it on one level, the media does it on another level,
And the people
then
push it as
there
well.
are people that push it on another level,
British
and
public.
people to develop
British public buy into
organisations,
the propaganda,
yeah,
and they
to do it on another
perpetuate
level.
it. Are you
Right.
telling me
So I'm
that
saying,
the British people do not
so I'm saying-
support the
but more
foreign
than-
policy?
It's not
on
even
the
that.
whole?
The
On the
British
whole?
Probably
people,
have acquiesced
On
the
the
British,
whole.
by not doing
the
that.
British
The
people,
individuals on
the
the whole,
British
they
people,
don't back it now.
Fact.
We never
the
backed
British
Iraq.
people, the British
That's
people.
inaccurate.
The British public never backed Iraq, did they?
They
Did you
did.
say?
We never backed Iraq.
Many of the
Stop
British
it,
people
man. They
did.
did.
That's a lie.
Many did. Many
They're saying they didn't
Many
back it.
did.
You know what I'm saying?
never?
Now they say, oh
Back
shit.
Brexit. I don't know whether they back
It's
Iraq.
deflection of going right
Back
now.
Brexit.
We never backed the Iraq war. That was like the most amount of
Many
people that
did,
marched
many
out
didn't.
in a
Many
disagreement of
did,
the
many
government.
didn't. Because there was a march against it, doesn't mean that.
They didn't back Libya.
But how
They
do you
backed
know
Iraq.
what the British public backed and didn't?
They backed Iraq. They didn't back
Where you
Libya.
get
Where you get your stats from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mad.
So I don't have no actual official statistics.
Is that
to say
conjecture?
which and so forth. I'm talking about as a community that came out and marched against these things and spoke about these things for
And how much people
quite
on
a
the
long
march?
time.
Yeah, but
How much people on the
I
march?
believe it was over 1 million people.
Right.
Yeah.
And how much people are in the country?
people in this country.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Right.
Stop that,
so,
man.
so the point is,
That's
right.
okay. That's
But
silly.
either way, either way, yeah.
mad,
Even
2.5%.
the reality, the fact remains.
Have you ever seen any like that?
The
amount of
fact
people march out
remains.
before?
No.
But the
On
fact,
anything? No.
but the fact.
All right then.
Never.
The
How did you see
whether
it?
that's the case or not, the fact remains
I've seen a million people
that
go
a
to Kabul then,
narrative
if that's the
was pushed, yeah,
Get me.
to justify that war. Yes, a narrative was pushed to justify that war, and I am saying, yeah, that the people, yeah, the British people that organise institutions and organisations like the EDO, like Britain First, like the British Freedom Party, are people that back that narrative, yeah, and therefore justify Britain's murderous activities in the world.
Come on, man.
Oh, finished.
Come on.
Oh,
So,
True, though.
is that not the case?
once more, say it again.
Say again?
Once more, say it again.
What? Should I repeat it? Should I repeat it? Right.
It was strong.
No, I know. What? Let me repeat it.
I was concentrating.
One more time. One more time. One more time.
He denied it from the
There are
beginning, though.
among the British.
I think he's agreeing, but he's saying it's government, not the public. I think he's agreeing, but he's saying it's the government, not the public.
No, I'm saying, listen, but hear what I'm saying.
Hold on.
The government is made up of people.
Man can't say
The
that.
public
Hold
is.
on.
Let me repeat what I'm saying.
Do we go on, cook it.
Right.
Do we have a voting system?
What I'm saying, no, yeah. But
Does the voting system work?
That's questionable. That's questionable.
That's questionable.
It's questionable.
So what are we saying that it's questionable
It don't
whether
matter.
politics is based on actual democratic system? Is that what we're saying?
No,
Politics, say again?
Yes. Man.
even though you said that we should vote,
I said does politics
Even though you said that we should vote.
on a democratic system?
Yeah, we should involve and integrate into British
So you believe that
society.
democratic
Yeah?
system is based on voting, right?
Yeah.
So do you believe it works or not?
Not all the time.
Huh?
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Bro.
So what is the disparity between what is voted for and what the British public want, yeah, and what happens?
Because, for example, we don't vote personally for every single policy that's going to be introduced. Okay. That's why.
But we vote for a government. So if
With
they
an
do an
agenda.
act that
We
we
vote-
don't feel,
we vote for members of parliament
If we
to go
vote
into
for,
power.
if they did an act
Power.
that we don't feel, we wouldn't like re-vote them. The British public would be so disgusted that we've gone to war, yeah, and it went against our wishes. That the British public would be like, we're not fucking with you because you're killing people in our name, and so therefore the next government would be completely different.
Not really.
Not if it's the same
Not really.
Right.
Why not really?
That speaks to the follow the voting system, yeah? But, hold on. No, he jumped in, you know. He thought I jumped in. And there's no problem with that jumping in. He can jump in.
So they're not really is that the other government, for example, let's just say the Conservative Party. The Conservative Party might be even for the war.
But the point,
Okay.
no, but
talking about who's in office right now.
no, but it's
So
not.
we're saying, why would we
But it
vote
goes
them
beyond
back in?
government. This is what I'm trying to say. It goes beyond government. You have because the media, is not the government. The media is designed to push the agenda that is supportive of British culture. So you have aspects of the media that support the war, aspects of the media that challenge the war. Then you have organisations among the people that challenge the war, and organisations among the people that support the war. And I am saying that there are the organisations in this country that are described as far right. But many of them supported the war and the actions.
Support one war, you support them all.
And the
if you're wearing a
actions
poppy now,
and the
if you're wearing a
actions
poppy now,
of the British
you support
government in
military
these wars.
action to solve your foreign policy issues.
Now what I'm saying is, you say that you disagree with the war in Iraq.
Yeah.
And this is why this is where I'm going way down the line.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, but you're not aligning, with radical, radical Muslims, because you disagreed, with the war on Iraq.
No, I said that if radical Muslims or any Muslim or any person says that they disagree with the war in Iraq, we all are sharing.
You agree with them.
sentiments.
You agree with them. You
Yes.
share principles with them.
Yeah, we share-
but
we
I'm
share
not
the same
saying
thing.
that. But what I'm saying is, you're not. But you're still supporting the agenda against radical Islam,
Yeah, of course.
right? Even though you agree with them. So my point is that what is the
supporting
problem?
agenda with
What is it? Because a man might
You
agree.
can
Hold
agree
on.
with
A
a
man might
person
agree.
on one thing,
A man
doesn't mean that you
but
agree
then a
with them
man
on
might.
everything.
But then a man
Like-
might agree that radical Islam is a problem, but still think the EDL and Tommy Robinson is a far right racist organisation that does not have the interest of black people at heart.
Not our voice.
Right.
Especially
And
when
I'm
man's
saying-
power, especially when man's championing injustice, yeah?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you represent a community, like you claim. I don't know, you I'm an R when we talk about community. Like, yeah, I'm not really representing the community. I thought you represented the community. And that community there is like kind of shocked and appalled to hear man talk about injustice of Tommy Robinson, injustice. And it's like, there's so many people in this community that actually could have dealt with Titans TV's voice, in terms of championing their injustice. So it seems like a little bit imbalanced, isn't it, your reaction to certain things, and then like your whole way of, I'm going to speak and I'm going to be present in the injustice. There's been a lot of things. There's been a lot of things within your own personal community where you could have been like a titan. And actually paved the way in terms of issues that's going within our own community.
That is a fair point.
That's what I'm saying.
In all fairness, that's a fair point.
Personally, because I know you didn't know about like Stephen Lawrence case and stuff like that. So obviously, I forgive you for that. Well, not even forgive you for that, but it's like you don't know about the Stephen Lawrence case. Cool, whatever.
I think most people here don't know about the Stephen Lawrence case.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I think most people here
I hear
don't
what I'm
know
saying, though. Most people here are not you.
Let's not do that.
Most people here are not you.
Let's not do that.
I'll show you. Let me give you an example. Can someone here out of like 20 people here, can you name the 4 individuals that were responsible for the
That's not what we asked you.
So can anybody here? Everybody here. Therefore, you don't know about the Stephen Lawrence case. I'm aware of it.
I'm just being
But
fair.
you're asking me if I know about it.
Listen.
You didn't know nothing.
I'm just being fair. I'm just being
Ask us about the
It
case.
claims to be a bastion.
I'm aware of it, but I don't know it.
If you ask man about the case, but how do you ask man about the names? We don't remember the names. Ask us about the case.
Half of these
We know about the
He's a
case.
big man, fam. But you're asking how old he is. He's a big man there.
The point is this, what I'm trying to say to you at the moment, because
didn't know nothing about
remember this conversation began way down the line, innit?
No, this I didn't know nothing about Stephen Lawrence.
He just knew Stephen Lawrence was killed.
Yeah,
That's all he knew about
No,
it. He didn't know no facts about it at all.
Different argument.
I think
It's cool.
I'm
It
saying-
is a different argument. But that's the truth.
Who here has read the McPherson report?
You didn't know nothing about it.
I haven't read it fully. I've read aspects of it.
One Asian person
I've read aspects
That's
of
a
it.
report.
Of all the black people, nobody else has.
What's the
Guess
report?
what?
That's not the
That's
case.
what he said though, man.
That's not the Stephen Lawrence case.
Don't make it seem
Let's
that
not
I'm
do that.
thinking about
report.
black
Let's
issues.
not-
I just don't know about the case.
No, but we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that, yeah? But the point is,
I don't even know if I was even. Was I born that time? Yeah, I was.
the point is though. The point
I'm
is.
thinking, was I even in this country at the
McPherson
time?
report.
That's another question. Was I even in the country?
But we don't have to deal with that introduction. We don't have to deal with that.
When Stephen Lawrence killed,
You wasn't in the country.
I'm about to step out of the conversation.
I said I don't know. What year?
I'm about to step out of the conversation.
97.
You said you come here at 6 years old.
I'm about to step out of the conversation.
So yeah,
You was
Yeah,
here when
97.
Stephen Lawrence.
so 97, yeah.
Pick it up, brother.
97.
You were
Yeah.
here?
So I was what? How old?
Stephen Lawrence was it in 97?
I actually.
No, it was when I was at school, man, and I left school in 90.
Cologne.
Yeah.
Cologne.
How old are you, cuz?
Yeah,
Don't worry about that.
93.
I'm a big man. I'm not 30, but now I am.
No, what the point is this year that the EDO.
Don't give me mileage. Don't give me mileage.
We have to get back to the
I don't know
point.
where you stand.
We have to get back to the point. We have to get back to the point.
Cuz, where do
We
you
have to get back to the
stand?
point, man.
Because it seems like you don't really stand.
Yeah, man's gonna step out of the conversation.
Where do I stand?
Go ahead. Because if I don't know something, I'll know.
Man's gonna step out of the conversation.
93. 93 still. Yeah. So yeah, yeah.
Where do you stand?
I wasn't even in the country that time.
Where do you stand, Callum, though?
Go ahead.
Like,
No,
no
but
one sees-
he's answered that, bro. He has
he's
answered
not
that.
answered it, bro. You
We're not
answered
talking
it.
about
No,
I
he
want to know
answered
from
it.
him.
He has answered it because I used his words. I didn't say nothing that he didn't say.
So
Yeah?
basically, he stands on the British side.
Yeah, because he aligns himself with British
I
and
want to
British
hear
society.
from him, though. I want to hear from him. though.
Like,
Where do you stand? Where do you see yourself? Who do you stand with?
we already said that. I'm a British African Caribbean man.
So he believes in
bro, you can't choose all
bicultural
of them.
competency.
Who do you stand
But
with?
he is
So
choosing
that
all of
means,
them.
so that
He is
means
choosing all of
basically
them.
you stand with EDL then.
What are you talking about?
So that means you will still
Do
stand with
you
EDL.
understand?
I'm
do
trying,
you understand
I'm trying to stay front of the conversation.
British African
But I'm
or
gonna step out in
British Caribbean
this.
man.
I'm probably gonna step out in this.
Because the other day
I'm
they
probably
went
gonna step
to
out.
South
I'm probably gonna
Africa.
step
So
out.
you're not British Afro-Caribbean?
So, yeah.
Like we're all British here, you know this, right? We're all British here. You can fight as much as you want, but you're British.
Yeah, bro.
You're born up
Yeah, bro.
in British.
I'm not British. I'm not British. I'm not British.
If an Indian elephant, British. Hold on, one second.
You're governed by the laws of the UK. You're British.
See, me and Jeddah, yeah, we're Africans. You know?
listen.
Me and Jeddah are Africans.
Listen,
Me and Jeddah.
Darlington now.
Man's
if an
mad.
Indian elephant is born in London Zoo
Yeah.
and is given British
mad.
fucking papers and certification, it is not a British elephant.
Yeah, I agree.
I am not British.
I'm not British. I'm not British. I agree with that. Right? But even if man wants to accept a British identity, even if man wants to accept a British identity, yeah,
You can be British.
he can be cognizant enough to know
And he's a man
about
that
the
was born here.
Justify
Yeah.
Born here.
So was I. So was I.
We know.
But you're not
Right?
British. You're born here, but you're
Yeah.
British.
You're British.
And you're not British.
So where do you
You're
stand?
British. You're British Nigerian. You're British Afro-Caribbean. It's that
You were born in
simple.
Nigeria.
I'm not a Caribbean neither. I'm not a Caribbean neither.
You need to shout
I'm
out.
not.
Trust me. I know what I'm
Right, no,
saying.
but I'm trying to. And I'm gonna duck in a second,
Indian
car.
elephant.
I want to focus the thing.
Born
here.
in London
The
Zoo.
point is, yeah.
It's not a British elephant.
It's like you're born in South London, but you're not part of South London culture. It's a madness.
Bro.
England land. British
Anyway,
land.
that's a different conversation. We can have that conversation another time.
British lion,
Yeah,
is that what
we
you're
can have a conversation another time.
the British
right?
lion.
Still didn't answer. Where do you stand?
Bro, he's
Don't
answered-
say German,
I'm saying,
African,
bro, he's answered the
Caribbean.
question,
He never
bro.
answered, bro.
But you can't.
He never answered. Stop
bro,
it, man.
Bro.
He doesn't stand with
Bro,
the Muslims.
all right, let's say
He
the
doesn't stand with
answer.
the Muslims.
Let's say the
over there.
answer, bro.
He didn't stand with black
But you're not gonna
people,
get.
so
But you're not gonna
Where
get.
does he stand?
But bro, you're not gonna get another answer than what he's given. So let's just leave that alone. You're not gonna get another answer than what he's
Where do
given.
you
Yeah?
Oh, gangy.
I'm gone.
It's not now.
Gangy.
Wide definition. Yeah. So when for example Tommy Robinson says he's British and you say you're British, it's not the same British.
I'm not British.
You're bicultural
Facts.
at
You
most.
can't tell him
That
facts.
you have a West African identity which you cloak when you're speaking to EDL and the far right. You become British like them. Did you hear what I said?
Did you not hear what I said?
This is what the brother
why-
is saying.
listen
Did
to
you
what I
hear what I
said.
said?
No, you're not listening.
BK.
Did you hear what I said?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Did you hear what I
I'm
said?
British. I'm British Afro-Caribbean.
Yes.
That is what I am.
Okay, but
You're
when you
British
say
Pakistani.
Did you hear
No,
what I said?
British Bengali or Pakistani.
Yeah.
Which one are you?
Did you hear what I had
I
said?
want to ask you a question.
This is what I don't want to happen, innit?
Right?
This is what I don't want to happen.
Are you gonna say that you're not? Are you gonna say
Come on,
you're not
divert the
British
thing.
I'm bicultural. I recognize
All right,
that
then.
I'm not the same. Hear me.
Good.
Hear me.
Not the
So you're in alignment.
My
I'm not
culture.
the same.
Wonderful.
See, Clem, you're not listening. Clem, you're not listening. Clem,
I am.
when these guys from EDL, when these guys from the lads group or
Are you Afro-Caribbean?
say that they're
African
British,
and Caribbean,
it's a
yeah.
different British
That's
to
what
what
you're
you
religion.
claim.
Oh, so you're half African, half Caribbean. So what? Who's where? Who's from where?
long to go into that, man.
So, I'm just asking.
It's long to go into that. Let's
Why?
continue the conversation.
We're asking.
No, but
I know. It's long to go into that.
Do you think you're
So
the same
what,
as
you're
them? When
biracial?
you're black British.
No, I'm not
You're the
biracial.
same as them.
There's no such thing as biracial.
No. Do you think you're the same as them?
One parent is African, one parent is Caribbean.
Okay, after
Hold on.
That doesn't matter. That don't matter. Let's talk about something
One
proper.
second.
It doesn't make no difference.
Is one parent African and one parent Caribbean?
It doesn't make no difference.
Why?
It don't make no difference. Can you continue the conversation?
Okay, EDL, the far right, the
that was
group that
illegal.
you've now associated with, that you have following on your channel. Do you believe that they believe you are the same British as they are British? Because the definition of British is very refined. A certain class, a certain colour. No, originally British never meant the Irish, it never meant the Greeks, the Armenian. It had a very specific meaning. My question, what EDL and Lads Alliance, so these far rights again, which you now associated, do you think that they think you are the same type of British?
Now associating and all that nonsense there, right? They're clearly English or Scottish or Irish or Welsh.
The question is, are you the same?
No, we're not the same ethnicity.
Okay.
You with
After
me?
the Muslims,
Hold on. Yeah.
After the Muslims, who's
Hold
next?
on. Yeah, we're not the same ethnicity. Just the same way that
Yeah,
me and
I
you
do.
are
And
not the
what?
same
Suck it.
ethnicity.
Okay.
But what we
hate
do
Britain
share in
and I
common
live it. What?
is that we're
Suck it.
both British.
What's the problem?
Does that make sense, right?
Am I
And you
British?
accepted.
According to you, am I British?
Again,
According to
when they wanted to kick your grandparents out, was you British then?
Hala has
Okay,
got nothing to
the
do
recent-
with your nationality. Do you understand?
Was you
Well,
British then?
the Jamaicans that recently, because of the Windrush, they got kicked out recently. They were determined as British. Why did they get kicked off? Are they no longer British? They were British then, but they got kicked out now. Who do you think is next after
I don't want to
Muslims?
be here. We're just doing
Who do
our
I
thing.
think is
innit?
next
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Muslims?
Do you really, in your mind,
I'm
think
not
that the
part- I'm not part of
supporters
the fear-mongering.
that you're pandering to
I'm
now?
not part of the fear-mongering.
I'm asking. I'm not fear-mongering. It's a solid question.
And this
people
is
that you're
the
pandering,
rhetoric.
the
This is
people-
the rhetoric here that shut off black people's minds. This is the rhetoric, the fear rhetoric.
Black people don't have a problem with their
Fear
minds.
rhetoric, that shuts off black people's mind. After it's us as Muslims, they're gonna go on to you next. So we might as well ally with each other.
It wasn't a comical question. It was a genuine question.
So I asked the question, is that when Britain wanted to kick out our grandparents, did they class us Britain then?
Okay.
Yes.
So
Because you're claiming it, but did they claim us? So again, when they wanted to kick us out, was they claiming us as British then?
We're talking about Windrush thing.
Windrush, the
They
recent
weren't
one as
claiming us
well.
then,
but he's
but you're
Afro-Caribbean,
claiming
it's
us,
like-
you're
he's-
claiming it. They don't claim us.
You don't
So
hear
again,
that shit.
when
They
you're
didn't
saying you're
kick
British and they're
Callum
British,
out.
it's two
Callum's
different
here,
things.
and he represents for
Do
us.
you understand the
we're
difficulty
Afro-
that you-
Caribbean.
the
you've
moment that
made?
you hold
British.
a British passport, and the moment that you have British
one of us.
citizenship, you're British.
To you and the government.
Just
So
like
you disagree? You don't believe that? You don't believe that? You don't believe that? Just give me your passport.
has London Zoo papers.
So I'm asking,
It's now
give me your passport if you don't believe that
They
you're British.
scratch out the Indian.
And if it's
on the
not
other
saying
side,
that,
and
no,
they
it's
put
arguing.
Give me your national insurance cards here if you're not British.
British.
Take away
what you're not,
all
bruv.
of the privileges here that you're receiving here in this country, and tell me that you're not British.
You know where Turks and Caicos? Sorry? Turks and Caicos, yeah, it's next to Haiti, yeah. They have a British
RPG
passport.
stands for British.
Basically, when I went to Turks and
Does
Caicos,
the B in
them
RPG
man,
stand for
yeah,
British?
They never been to Peru. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? They don't,
Real-
like, it's like being in yard or something. You get me, yeah? They don't know about British culture, but they got a British passport. So now you consider them to be British, right?
If they're citizens of this country, yeah.
So basically now being British has nothing to do with culture. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
Why?
true.
Because they are not from Britain. Like they ain't
So-
been to Britain.
So
Never-
are they what are they then?
Like
Are
basically
they British
Britain,
nationals? Are they Britain
owns the island, innit?
Something else? What are they?
Britain owns the island,
Yeah.
and they got some next kind of deal with Britain.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But when I went there, there's a man that's never been to Britain, yeah,
Okay.
that got British passport. You see what I'm saying? Which was one of the criteria to be British.
Yeah.
But they don't know nothing about British culture.
What does it mean to be British?
Revolutionary British guy.
Those are the ones. Yeah, we need to do a show on for those ones there. You know, like I would.
There's no point in keeping arguing over the same thing.
Yeah.
And man's got different interpretations of what
So
British is.
yeah, it's one of those ones. Yeah, we need to
man.
actually do a show on.
RPG.
That's one of those. That's one of those ones. Yeah, we need to actually do a show on, and we can pull out information as in like the values of British society, the culture itself, all of those things there.
Right now, it seems like there's different interpretations of what it means to be British.
Yeah.
But when I'm discussing as if the other side shares the same what it means to be British. Where you from? Like, that's what
Yeah. So
there
like
is no
we
clear
should
criteria
really
what
have
it
like
is
an
to be British, except for paperwork.
informative like conversation on this, and that's why we should do this like online, and we could show some evidence and information. No, I'm a British national.
Enjoy it, man.
I don't like. That's very tricky because what you're talking about is heritage, where you're born and where you're growing up from and so forth. Yeah. So I've just already said it. I'm Afro-Caribbean, British Afro-Caribbean. Yeah.
But what is culture like? 'Cause say for example in London, and Manchester, different culture, isn't it?
You have that. Yeah, you have the different.
So like, how can you say that there's a British culture, but inside Britain there's so many subcultures?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. There's British subcultures.
Yeah. So then to say like, say for example, if you're from the roads or whatever, and then you've got a next man that's living in Kensington, like they're not sharing the same experience.
They're part of a different subculture.
To say they share the same
different subculture.
To say they share the same culture would really be an act.
Sorry?
Like it would be
they hold an overall culture, but then they may belong to subcultures.
But on this overall culture, what is that? The part that keeps them together that you saying is this culture that is between the man on the road and the man that's living in Kensington or the man that's living in Bradford. What is that?
So like, okay, so there's a lot of things that come with it, right? Usually it starts off with your value system. And the value system, like, I would really need to have it there and break it down for you. There is like the major five.
So if you don't agree with certain man's value system, then you're not part of the culture. Is that what you're saying?
No.
People in the same culture.
No, you can have people in the same culture.
So then, if that's the case, then value system is not something that is like determines culture.
No. There is nothing. There's more than that. There is actually the structural systems as well, the organisation, the leadership, and all those things. There's a lot of things here that create or define what a culture is. It's not simply the value system. The value system is actually at the heart of a culture of a cultural system, but there is so much more that actually spreads out.
But how can it be the heart if you can not share the same values and still be from the same culture?
Because we can belong to the same.
Our African culture and British culture, are they compatible?
So that's a good question. Are
they compatible?
That's a very good question.
In terms of spirituality, in terms of morality.
There is a very good question.
Especially in terms of moving towards the future and dealing with one's individual communities. Because I assume, which community do you put forward first? The African or the British part of you?
That's wonderful.
Being that you're Afro-Caribbean.
Wonderful.
The African.
Isn't the Western belief?
Wonderful question. Yeah, but
African,
wonderful. It's a good question, but it's also a faulty question because there's no such thing as African culture.
But there's British culture.
Yeah.
So
there is. You can say that there is
British culture.
You can say that there's Yoruba culture. You can say that there's Nigerian culture. But there isn't something as African culture because Africa is not monolith.
Let's talk about Nigerian culture.
So Africa is not monolith. Do you understand that? Because you have Arab culture there, you have Christian culture there, you have all different types of culture.
Let's talk about Nigerian culture. Let's talk about Nigerian culture.
Sorry?
Nigerian culture.
What
do you represent more? So Nigerian culture, British culture, or your Caribbean culture, being that you're Afro-Caribbean.
So again, we spoke about this earlier on, right? That we have to understand as people that's been enslaved and colonized, we have to understand our history and how.
Kalam, this is your mom talking now. Which one are you feeling? Which one? Is it Nigeria? Is it Britain? Or is it Caribbean?
Again, I'm trying to explain to you that you need to,
now.
Again, I'm trying to explain to you that you need to have a competency of what it is to be British, what it is to be Nigerian.
But you're all of them, so you got
exactly. So we're all of those things. We're all of those things, right?
So are you more British?
All of those things.
Are you more British than you are Nigerian?
So it's like asking the question, are you more black than you are a man?
Yeah.
Which
I
one
say
are
I'm more man.
You're more man than black.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
So there's the question. You can't divide.
You can't divide. Yeah, who you are. You are.
Cultures. Are you more entrenched? Are you more associated? Do you more affiliate your idea? Do you more represent? Because the British culture and Nigerian culture are two separate entities. Yeah, you were raised by Nigerian parents, I'm assuming. Nigerian parents. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm asking.
Go ahead, continue. I'm listening to you.
No, it's not statement.
Continue. No, so go ahead. No, go ahead, continue.
So there wasn't both. Okay, so
go ahead.
What Nigerian and
continue.
Caribbean.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Continue.
Okay, so you're raised by Nigerian and Caribbean parents, yeah?
Yeah.
In Britain, which culture, is more dominant in when you're represented? Yeah. Which one do you stand in politically? Which one represents you most? Yeah. The Nigerian culture, aka AKA to everyone else, black,
Okay.
African, whatever
Okay.
culture, or British culture.
Awesome. So I'll say neither.
It's not awesome. It's not awesome. It's just a question, bro.
Yeah, it's an awesome question.
It's not awesome.
It is an awesome question.
Question.
And again, I'm saying that it's neither of those things. We're a combination of all those things that
This
makes us
why
who we are.
Cool, man. We're not we. I'm asking you specifically.
Yeah, and
Next
I'm
man
saying-
will be like,
I'm saying
yeah,
me specifically.
I grew up in Germany, but my parents are Ghanaian, and I grew up with a strong Ghanaian culture in my household, so that's what I associate with the most. Get me? It's an easy question. I ask any man of mixed diversity, whatever, which culture they identify
So-
with most. They're gonna be able to pick one.
Let me ask you.
can't.
So
'cause
which one are you?
You can't.
Which one are you most?
African.
So you're not African. You're Nigerian.
Yeah, that's African.
So
No, that's good. We never know what Africa, you know. I'm in Iraq. It's one man. It's shot.
So, all right, hold on. And let me
I identify with something
Yeah.
that is not organic to this place.
Cool.
I identify with something not organic to this place. Hence, when you ask me if I'm British, I say no.
Cool. So check it now, yeah. Although you say that from your lips, right? Who you are and how you stand right now,
reality, it's the truth.
I do not see, yeah.
don't matter what
I
you
do
see.
not see.
It don't matter what you
I
see.
do not see
That doesn't decide for my
Nigerian
truth.
culture
That doesn't-
exuding
that
from
doesn't-
you.
That doesn't.
I
that
see
doesn't-
British
You don't have to see it to be true.
culture and British
you asked me,
subculture exuding from yourself.
Hold on.
And that's
You
what I'm
asked
saying
me
to you. The
which
reality is we're a combination of all
Brother,
those things.
you asked me what I identify with. Listen, one second. Listen. You asked me what I identify with most. Yeah? Not what I exude. Yeah? You understand? Hear the difference.
All right.
What I identify with may not be what I exude.
You know what, though?
Because I choose not to.
But this is
What you think exudes,
this
and
is
then that's
simple.
down to your perception.
But this is
That's a
simple.
fallacy.
But this is simple. This is simple.
I'm Nigerian. I can't help but think like a Nigerian.
This
You
is simple.
dumb.
This is simple. This is simple. Bro.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
This is simple. Yeah.
No,
When
you really can.
This
You
is
really
simple.
can.
Callum,
You really can. You really can.
This is simple.
Hold on. Are you thinking from the Nigerian thinking book? Are you thinking like a Nigerian?
What you like to say?
Are you living like one?
like an English boy?
Are you
This
living
is
like
simple.
Was I allowed to say those types of words? It never came up
This
in my
is
mind to even
simple,
think
bro.
like that or talk like that.
This is simple.
What was that?
Yeah, because I was brought up differently.
This is simple. When you asked me the question earlier, yeah, what I said was, I'm an African. I'm an African in Britain, born in Britain. Yeah. That to me caters for exactly what you're saying. The fact that man speaks English. Yeah.
There you go.
It doesn't mean I'm British. It means I'm an African, born and raised in Britain. Yeah, that caters for it. So being born and raised here caters for the environment.
It's just semantics.
And then
What you're doing is semantics.
No. But you can say that. But
It's
you
semantics.
but you brought the thing to me, you know,
Yeah.
right about this thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And you can say semantics. No,
because you've been
but to me-
shaped by your environment.
But to me,
so therefore
but
you are British.
But being,
And you're African.
But being shaped by my environment, doesn't make me British culturally speaking. And we do this already.
If you think so,
If that's the case, people born and raised here, fam, that get deported, fam, what are they? What are we saying? This is your government. This is your British government that deem them. That
your
even,
government as well.
no, it ain't my government, fam. It's the government. You're British. You accept them. I told you.
No,
That's what you say,
bro. Good reasoning.
Everybody's saying that they're outlaw, but they're still paying their taxes.
On a level.
Everybody's saying that they're outlaw, but they're still following the laws. Come on, man. Allow it.
Me reasoning with you was just based upon me hearing what you were saying, innit? That's why I have a reasoning with you about the thing, innit? So we disagree, but it's blessing it. And I'm not like, so it's just my thoughts, innit?
I think we agree. I think we agree more, but we're just utilising the
Maybe
semantics
so.
to disagree.
And the reasoning will continue. I'm just letting you know that it was literally me getting a vibe from what you were saying yesterday that prompted this conversation.
Definitely.
Like, no, I know what's going on. It's just like, man, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even going to do it on the camera. I was going to come reason you myself. Like, I got expected to see you today, to be honest with you.
I know, I wasn't going to come.
Right?
By surprise.
But I spoke to Content about it, and he said, well, let's do it. So let me get one more still. Let me get one more. Yeah, but give thanks, yeah?
Yeah.
Love, yo, man's moving. Bless, yeah?
Give thanks, Shaka.
Me African thing, me African thing.
Big up my African brother. Get me, man. China, man.
Bless up.
Get me.
Rolling. But yeah, so like, see with the culture thing,
Yeah.
What are you saying, like, because you're shaped by your environment, Then if you look at Britain, Britain is surrounded by countries. So then, if you look at it in that sense, then Britain
is a
itself
Germanic people,
doesn't
man. They're
have
not even from
a
this
culture.
land.
So they're shaped by the European whole. They're part of European identity.
Your cousin, your cousin, one of the people who are native to this land. Them are Germanic tribes and all this, bro. None of them are really native to this people,
Every
bro.
people have migrated.
Not every people. Like, if you're really deep going back to Africa, yeah. But I'm saying, see, once people moved out from Africa, and then you had your certain nations set up and that, you know, like, we had our differences, we developed differently.
Yeah.
Like, these men are not them people no more. They got wiped out by the Romans, the Germans, like, even the Queen, she's Germanic, bro. Like, they relate to Hitler and all them, man, bro. You know me?
Everybody is mixed up, man.
Not everybody.
Everybody's mixed
Us
up,
people
man.
are not. We're mixed up because of what their man done to us.
You must be mixed up as well, man. Trust me, you may be. You might find that you have some Arab blood in there, you got some Bengali blood in there, Pakistani blood in there.
That's kind of similar, isn't it? Yo, we're in the same kind of place.
It's all different, man. But you can say Europeans, Germans, they're all from the same place.
No, but they had a different identity. You hear me? They had different morals and different like cultures.
Same with the Bengali people, same with the Pakistani people, same with the Punjabi people.
I might be mixed with them, right? I might be mixed with them, but I still have my distinct culture.
Yeah, of course you do.
Do you get me? But these lot don't have that culture they had no more.
Who? Which ones?
The people that are British now, native British now.
Don't talk about it.
They're not that.
Don't talk about it.
No, that's
What I'm saying, Kalam, yeah? What I'm saying, these people now, what I'm saying, the British people now, from this isle, the isles of British culture, these people, right, they're not the same, they don't have the same culture and the values and even the traits from like, see like Boudica and that.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah,
you see like
of
them tribes.
Because there's been so
like
many
Boudica's tribes and them
there's
tribes.
been so many different invasions.
Exactly, that's
of
what I'm
people
asking you. So
coming
like, what I'm saying is, these lot are not, see like the way they go on to the world, like, yeah, we're this, we're Britain. Come on, you man are like a mix of European, Slavic tribes, like all the Vikings and that. Them man took over you for years, Romans, everything, bro. Them man are a mixture of everything, right?
Pretty sure Africa won.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, 100.
I'm not taking a piece, I'm just asking, innit?
100.
Do you believe
Anything?
that?
You know, 100.
So alright, Kella, I'm not going off topic now, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I ain't spoken to you before. I'm going to ask a question. You can give me your answer if you want to or not. Brother, you see, as a black man, a big black brother you are, wise brother, I respect your knowledge that you have in this brain as well, you know. Don't think I'm a dickhead, I'll take a piss at you, yeah? Like, you see when a man like Tan and them kind of brothers will just use the N-word, yeah? Why would you as a black man say, nah, that's for some kind of like change and that, brother? And why wouldn't you see it for what it is? It's a ploy of like what would you call it? The far right or the far what? What do you call it? It's a ploy of them, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's a ploy of them, man.
I hear you.
To get even like us lot to fight amongst one another.
I hear you. I just don't deal with.
See an intellectual brother like you.
Yeah.
They've got you working like in a way.
I hear you. Can I answer that though?
Yeah,
I don't deal with conspiracy theories. So if you could prove something to me, then I will say,
What do you
yo.
mean like prove something?
Can I finish?
A man said the N-word, brother.
Yeah.
And look, I'm brown, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not that much lighter than you, Kalam. And I respect you brothers enough not to say the word.
Yeah.
You see me? And a man that's yellow come and said the word like enough times, man.
Yeah.
You see when that man dashed the Quran, brother? You man saw what I done to Raj. You think, bro, come on, like.
Say
You
nothing.
know, everyone can be offended.
Yeah, say
Kalam,
nothing.
everyone has the right to be offended.
Yeah.
The same way you have the right for free speech and free movements, right?
Yeah.
But that's not free speech, is it? That's the action.
Okay.
Do you understand? He's dashing the holy book on the floor. Same way if you told me, like, what's your belief? Kemet.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you have it? No, I'm asking. What is your belief, brother?
I don't have no beliefs.
You don't have nothing. Do you have any kind of scripture that you hold dear?
The scripture of
Something that you
life.
would not like to be defamed? Do you have anything like that you would not like in your life?
My mother, my father.
Okay,
my
so for
sister,
example,
my
like,
family,
see that holy book, right?
Yeah.
Would be comparable for me as a Muslim to that, right? Same way. Sorry? Come on. I know. East London chapter, blood, you know me? So listen, God.
He's reforming.
Oh man, yeah.
No, I still hold my beliefs. Don't, I hope everyone knows, yeah. I still hold all of my Muslim beliefs, yeah, but I still part of a gang. And I'm up for the upliftment of the youth.
Coexist, right?
You see me? Our youth is gonna come up in here out of this. You see, out of this, our youth is gonna come up, and that's why I'm even talking to Kalam like this, yeah, because I even want him on our side, bro. I don't know why Kalam has his views against brothers, bro. Kalam, look, you got Pakistani man coming in with these people, and I'm talking to you, brother. Yeah, we need to be one, fam. Solidarity.
Yeah,
Give me solidarity.
we need to be solid on truth.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, why are we bickering amongst one another, Kalam, when we can be doing a greater good, my brother?
Exactly.
This is what I'm saying to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Kalam, you're more intellectual to fight with brothers and do that. Why don't you just say, okay, cool, and then dead that beef, and just let's step forward, innit, brother? Come on, man.
I don't have any beefs.
No,
I don't have any beefs.
Not intellectual beefs.
Yeah, no.
I'm not talking about physical.
Yeah, no. I'm saying
You know,
I don't have no
like-
beefs though. I don't have no beefs.
But okay, arguments or you know, like you have agendas that you disagree with and stuff like
Yeah, to
that.
educate
Yeah,
people.
but let's get past that and let's get across. You mean, why don't you come with the brothers and start to like help them get their message across and stuff? No more. No, you've been putting them down recently. Come on,
I don't.
I have been.
I don't think you have, man. I don't think you have.
that savages and all them things.
They come on mob mentality and all that. These are your mouth, like words coming out your mouth and describing your own brothers, Kalam, man.
I only speak the
The
truth
word,
as I see it.
Kalam. All right, right now we're Kalam, my brother. Right now we're around you, right? A lot of brothers, right?
The only time, wait, let me finish. The only time that I remember using the term, the only time that I remember,
was that day.
the only time I remember using the word mob, right, is when everybody was, I was giving my response and everybody was like, heckling me down, and I'm saying that's mob mentality.
You described what happened to Tan. That's why you use the word mob to the people that done Tan.
That was mob mentality. No, I said that was savage, backwards, behavior, whatever the case is, right? Whatever that, whatever it is, anytime, yeah.
No one touched him.
Anytime that somebody wants to utilize intimidation, wants to utilize violence to get to their means, right, without utilizing their intellect, I'm saying that's savage behavior.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from intellectually.
Just like the British government. Go ahead.
You acknowledge the fact that you're black.
Well, he looks in the mirror and he knows he is. Come on.
I'm sure you've been involved in nothing to do with black betterment.
That's what I just asked him.
I don't think you know who I am then.
Or maybe he does it in his own personal life and we don't know about it.
I don't think.
What I'm saying, like, a lot of people do stuff in their personal life to do their, we don't know what he's doing in his life.
The car garage thing, the MOT station.
Okay, yeah.
When my man called, what do you call man?
A monkey, yeah.
A monkey.
Yeah.
You rid out on him.
Yeah.
He's like, he don't know what you do for the black community. Okay. And then there was a youth stabbed in Hackney and Kalam went there and covered it. Didn't you see that?
He's not taking the piss. He's not taking the piss. He's not taking the piss. But you're surprised that.
I only see him shaking Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, because I guess like you only see one thing.
I know you do this. Kalam, 1 second.
I've been standing up for the black community for over 15, 20 years, bro. But nobody gonna see that though.
Kalam, nobody here knows me longer than you.
You don't exude then.
Kalam, no one here knows me longer than you.
No, trust me, I really do. And everybody else who's watching this, who has something.
See it straight off the back.
Yeah, everybody else can see.
I don't mean it.
Everybody else can see. Everybody else can see. Just me.
Nobody here knows me longer than you.
Yeah.
Because like you know me longer than I know everyone else here. Because when I came first to this park, I came and asked you about Thai, and I remember you introduced me to the park, brother.
Yeah.
And I spoke to you nicely. Remember? You remember about 3 years ago.
I remember, my brother.
I've never come and done no stupidness like that. You get me? I've always been a good love thing, yeah. Like, and I've seen you change, Kalam. I ain't gonna lie, since them times to now, you become a different brother, Kalam. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. Like, what happened? What's changed? What's wrong?
That guy, you know. When you hotted it.
I didn't.
He's changing, you know. I remember like
don't do that, man.
About 3 years ago. Different thing. And slowly, gradually, he's just coming on what he's on now.
Man, no one a monkey again. I rated that.
That's what I'm asking him. I'm asking him, brother, like, what happened, Kalam?
We finished, yeah. We finished. Is there any last thing so we can close it down? Any last things? Is that it? That's good.
Well, this British thing though, yeah. I feel like man needs to come with a criteria because it's gonna come up so much in speaker's corner, British culture. It needs to be like 5 or 10 points that qualify you to be like to qualify what you're considering British culture. So every time you're talking about it, now man can be like, okay, that's British culture.
Yeah.
Because eventually it's just
culture is a lot, right? Because I always give the definition of culture. Culture is like a designed way of living, right? Designed way of living. The heart of every single culture is its values. And for example, the values of British culture is, for example, tolerance, like freedom of speech, democracy. There's a lot of things that actually is the values of British culture. But it also has other organizations or structures that create the infrastructure for British culture as well. For example, Parliament. That's part of British culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, having all of that, the crown, the Prime Minister, all those things there, that's part of British culture. And anybody to say that we're not part of British culture is like, like you're governed by British culture.
Yeah, so how can you not be part of it if you're governed by it? It doesn't make no sense. It's separate, but be governed by it.
The members,
it's a democracy.
and they're split. Like some on the left and some on the right.
Yeah.
Now who determines
them logic's there, you know.
You're just part of British culture. You can be against it. So there's a lot of people against British culture.
Your values is to eat meat and my values is not to eat meat.
Yeah.
But between us, British culture, which now is British culture.
They're both.
He said he want to fuck my girl. I said, no,
It's both. Like it's just a person. It's just two groups that have difference of opinion of what British culture is.
Yeah, but if your values and my values are not the same,
and
you're saying it's based on values.
Pause the debate, man.
No. How can you have 740 something people like tuning in right now, but not actually donating and subscribing to COE. Can we get some donations into COE right now? Can we get some more like equipment for COE right now? I'm trying to go for a second HD
Let's get some
camera.
stuff for you.
Can we get that? Can we get that?
No, get some stuff for you, man.
SLR camera.
Yeah.
SLR camera.
So next time a youth stepped in Hackney, you can roll
Hold him
down.
back, hold him back.
Call me.
Call him.
That's your
Call me. Call me. Cause check it out. Check it out.
I never call you.
I know, but check it though. Like I was not intending to go down to Tommy Robinson's Old Bailey thing. I wasn't even intending to do that. I was just
But
there.
it was a victory for freedom of speech. You covering that, man. And you
Yeah.
pushed stuff forward.
Yeah.
Late night
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah, 100% it is. Right, so I didn't have no like idea to it.
Freedom fighters there, like Tommy.
The community said, go there,
Big up good
cover that.
The community.
They said they put some money into me to say, yo, go there and cover that. I said, alright, cool, let me go and do that. Let me do that.
You know what you mean by that?
So if you guys want to actually support like Titans TV, say to me like, raw, like I want this covered. I want this covered, right? And then I will go there. You think what I'm saying? Sorry? So like travel expenses, travel expenses, whatever the case is, that gets me to where I need to go to.
We could do something else to fund that, bro. How about the money we raise goes to the kids or something, man? I mean,
Someone said,
I'll go for that, bro.
This
That's what
man's
I'm
Titans
on,
TV.
innit?
That's cool.
Well, I got a job, right?
Man, subscribe
And
to
I'll
my
make
channel.
my
Big
way
up
and
him.
I'll help you and I'll donate and that, right? But what I'm saying is, bro, like that money needs to go to the kids or something, like to the poor brothers.
Then we can do that. Then we can do that.
You live in the modern world, like you should be paying for your
Then
expenses.
we can do that. I've been paying for my own expenses for
Exactly.
like
So I'm
over
saying
5 years of time.
do that, get your tickets to go somewhere, and we will raise funds for that place.
So
this is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying to you is, yeah, if we've got something to create, like a program to create for the children, then that's what the funds will be going into.
Cool.
So that's something that us as a community need to
Where are
actually
you
do.
thinking? What place you thinking?
I'm
Do you have
not.
anything in mind?
I'm not thinking about that.
Anything?
No. The only thing, if I was going to think about that, it would be in London to the children. For me, it would be South London, like charity starts at home. That's where I would be
You have a good
starting.
response still. 'Cause I go to
Have you seen the studies here that's saying that emotional pain goes the same as physical pain? Like,
Yeah.
so then,
Are you talking about his Wi-Fi?
could just be the same as hitting someone in the head.
Okay.
Then what Tan was doing was also savage.
That sounds like GCA Road.
Again, I've always said it. Yeah, like I don't agree with what Tan did and what Tan said. I completely
But
disagree
did you
with it.
condemn it though?
What do you mean?
Like saying
Of
that was savage.
course. I already said that that behavior is like I don't agree with the use of the N-word. Sir, I don't agree with the use of the N-word at all. So Tan using the N-word, I'm completely like against it.
But
that simple.
his freedom of speech enables, like you're cool.
So yeah, so his freedom of speech enables him to actually do it.
Yeah, but
So do it.
But based on it now, if
Yeah.
emotional pain is the same in the body as physical pain, then by him doing that, it's savage, isn't it?
By him saying
Like, by him saying certain things, like say for example, if man would have went over and brushed him quickly,
But for me,
that would have been savage, innit?
For me, yeah, like I was taught like primary school, like sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words can't harm me. So I can't allow,
But that's not true though. Like in the
What are you doing with the hat, man? What's going on?
Huh?
the body,
It's too much light, man. Yeah.
feelings release chemicals, and you do it can hurt you.
I
Like,
hear you.
you know the one
It can, but you should have control over your mind
It's
and your emotions.
experience. It's like, say for example, someone you care about, you get a phone call and you heard that they got run over or something,
Yeah.
That's just words.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But you can be hurt.
Yeah, you can be hurt by that.
So then, what you just said doesn't make sense.
And that's why certain words, right, are what we consider to be like, sorry, what's it called? It's like racial slurs. Certain racial slurs are considered like against the law because it can cause harm on people. So, if it's done out of racial hatred, then it's against the law. It goes against freedom of speech because you're inciting harm on a person. So if we as quote unquote black people were being smart, if we were being smart, all we had to do was go to the feds, police, and make a complaint to Tan. And Tan would never ever come back to Speaker's Corner again because there'll be a court case against him to saying that he broke the law and he's not allowed to attend Speaker's Corner again. That's how we do. If we're trying to. That's all you have to do, brother. Jedi, when you was there and the police officers there, when you saying like, oh, she pulled my hair, wouldn't that be considered to be snitching?
No.
Okay.
I weren't trying to get her arrested. I was telling a fact.
All
Because
right,
he was
so-
telling me to get back up
so-
there, but
so-
she pulled my hair. So I was stating a fact.
So
no, I weren't trying to report. Don't
you
try
can
it.
state the facts.
Don't try it, bro.
You can state the
Don't
facts.
try it, bro.
Yeah,
I weren't trying to- you're talking about an official report.
the way you was complaining.
Did I make an official report?
The way you complained to the
Did
police
I make an
officer,
official report, or was I just speaking?
It doesn't matter.
Don't
The way
try
you
and equate the
complained
two.
to the police
They're two
officer,
different things, fam.
Right?
If you lodge an official
If we-
complaint about
if we,
Tan,
as black
yeah,
people,
that's snitching.
lodged a complaint, on Tan, right? Guess what? Tan will no longer be a speaker's corner.
bro. Don't try it.
If man bust him up and he didn't
Hear
come
what I'm
back
saying?
on the same thing, what's the
Never
difference?
try
You can boss him. You can. I wasn't affected.
But you saw what happened, though.
I wasn't affected in that respect.
So you're saying man should lodge a complaint, but you never lodged it.
Because I don't have a complaint on it. I don't have a complaint. Like I don't have a complaint. I wasn't affected into the extreme where I need to lodge a complaint against
Said nigga, you're black as well, though.
Yeah. So and then somebody could call me a rapist. I'm not a rapist.
Would you say Tan saying the N-word was a savage? A savage move?
So Tan calling Jedi monkey and a nigger and so forth. Yeah, that there is what I would consider to be called hate speech. That was racial abuse, and that was utilizing racial insults. So
against that.
So because we're living in a society, of course, that most people here believe that they belong in the society. Hence, they're going to act out of society and take the law into their own hands. I'm against that. That's going to create vigilante mentality and vigilantes in the UK. And that's nothing that's good.
Fuck the system. Fuck the government.
So all you had to do, if you really wanted to get rid of Tan, is simply lodge a complaint against Tan. And Tan would not be. If you wanted to lodge a complaint against Tan in terms of the police, that would be all you had to do.
Yeah, but what if you didn't want to do that?
Chinese
You wanted
guy
to
call him a nigger.
Say the police on the same side.
he made you feel.
Sorry?
What if you wanted to make him feel how he made you feel?
Then that, because the wickedest thing is, yeah, this is kind of like the same scenario, yeah, with my child at school right now, yeah. Check. Let me show you what happened, right? So my son, yeah, has a friend called Yasin, yeah. Them two, yeah, always get into like little play fights, right? But he must have like punched him, like Yasin must have punched my son, right? And then what happened after that? My son got into a little altercation with the boy. Yasin never got into trouble. My son got into trouble. He's now, Monday morning comes, he's going to be in detention for half an hour. Yeah, as a young,
Was you there?
Was you
there? Did you see what happened, or are you just giving us his story?
I'm giving.
How do we know what happened?
I'm giving the
It's
report.
not fact, man.
I'm giving the report of my son.
It's not fact, man.
I don't know. I'm going to give you the report of my son. I'm giving the report of the teacher as well, right? Check it. Yeah, the teacher, as well as myself, yeah, said to him, yeah, like if that is occurring, yeah, where the boy is actually starting on you and punching you first, whatever the case is, all you have to do, yeah, is tell the teacher or tell the boy to stop, right? I'd rather my son, yeah, tell the teacher what the boy did, than him going into detention or him later on in life being excluded. You dig what I'm saying?
Someone hits you, son.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing, yeah. I'm telling you, the same thing, yeah. If we're
from being able to defend yourself.
the same thing, yeah. The same thing, yeah. Like if yeah, the same thing I'm telling my son, yeah, is the same thing I'm going to tell the rest of the black community. Unless you're going to teach your son, yeah. If somebody hits you play fighting, and you know play fighting is not allowed in school, continue to play fight with that boy. And guess what's going to happen to your son? He's just like my son. He's going to be in detention. When he gets older, when it's no longer detention, it's going to be exclusion. When it's no longer exclusion, when it's outside of school system, yeah, it's now jail. It's now jail.
Not if you nip it in the bud.
There you go. So you tell me, what would you do? What would you tell your son in that situation?
I'm a daughter, yeah?
Yeah, what would you tell your daughter in that situation?
Like today, it was like today she had a little madness with her brethren.
Yeah.
She got a scratched up face.
Yeah,
When I came in, I was vexed, blood.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
I was feeling like wrath. I was there and there was someone else. Like, you get me? I'll be going mad.
Yeah.
But my daughter,
You're the
innit, yeah?
snitching thing.
I thought it's her own life, innit? Yeah? Like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to teach her how to do right.
Let's do a
innit,
vote.
yeah? But
Who's down for this?
That's not called snitching, by the way.
It's not snitching, informing.
We're going to that later on. We're going to that later on.
It's
I'll show you.
grasping better.
We're going to that later on, and I'll explain to you why not. Go ahead.
If now, yeah, someone was
G-rapping.
hit my
Who remembers
daughter,
G-rapping?
yeah? Like, I try to train her how to defend herself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, yeah? Telling the
yourself to be a
teacher,
G-rapper.
for what? Like, this is like, to me, that's not real. Not in terms of like,
middle generation.
you see what I'm saying?
You know what a
But
G-rapping
in like
thing?
laws of the
Huh?
jungle or laws of life,
G-rapper,
innit?
man.
You should be able to, now, if someone does something to you, you're now able to do
Yeah,
what you want.
man.
Like, if I cuss your mum, yeah, and then you hit me in the face, I'm gonna, like, that's normal, innit?
No, it's
You
not
see
normal.
what I'm
That's
for
not-
me,
yeah, no.
yeah.
For you, it's
and-
normal, but I'm saying
vice
it's
versa,
not
that
normal.
would be normal.
It's not normal.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
let me just quickly say, like my son, he's been going to karate and so forth. Yeah, he's got his little belts and so forth. So he knows about self-defense, right? So if there is some problem where you need to defend himself, he can actually defend himself, right? So in that situation, he could defend himself. Yeah, but the proper procedure to do is go tell your teacher or tell the boy to stop it. Go away from that person and tell the teacher and nip it in the bud that way. The teacher would now speak to him. And his parents would now be called in and be spoken to that to the boy as well, right?
Have you
You
worked
see what I'm
in a
saying?
school, Callum?
Give me a second, right?
That doesn't always happen.
I hear you. Give me a second, right? So you got the teacher and the parent. You're now influencing the child's mind not to do that again. And guess what? My son will be out of detention and not be involved in any fights.
But he was hit though. It's not like
No, it was play fight. It was play fighting. So it wasn't even a thing where he needed. It wasn't even a thing where he needed to. What I'm saying, but it wasn't a thing here where he actually needed to defend himself, right? It was just simply play fighting that was going on. They're mucking around at lunchtime, right? And now because you actually joined in with the madness, you now two wrongs. You now thinking two wrongs makes a right. No, two wrongs don't make a right. You now jumped into a little play fight. The boy who initiated the play fight, yeah, is laughing. He's not in trouble. But guess what? You are in trouble.
But Tan wasn't play fighting.
Tanya was doing something that he's allowed to do at Speaker's Corner, and now you wanted to join. It was something that you're allowed to do at Speaker's Corner. You're allowed to speak freely about certain things, right? And he done those things. You dig what I'm saying? If you disagreed with, if you disagree with those things, go by the actual means to disagree with them. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm saying to you, yeah, is like we have like the art of war. Like understand your environment, 100%, right? Like there's certain things that we'll do on road, yeah.
Only because you know
that you don't do at Speaker's Corner. Utilize what you can utilize, your power and your resources. At Speaker's Corner. You think what I'm saying?
Your power.
If you're outside, if you're outside, yeah.
Feds.
If you're outside on road streets, yeah. I'm not gonna tell you like call 999. Like that's not gonna help you in that moment in time.
But just run to a Fed.
You think what I'm saying? That's not gonna help you in the time.
If you see a Fed, just run to one.
No, it's not a contradiction. You have to understand, yeah, what self-defense is now. You need to defend yourself. You think what I'm saying? At Speaker's Corner, you didn't need to defend yourself. You got other ways of defending yourself without being physical. Utilizing your mind over your matter, bro.
Yeah, but see now, yeah, some people, they don't feel that.
I know, and that's what's saying that we need to have a re-education process.
Like, your objective, yeah, is like, sometimes it's not about getting something off your chest. It's about putting it on someone else's. You see it? It's like, because it's like, some people, yeah, you talk to man, like, say, man might say loads of things to you here, innit? Like, obviously with your channel, your personality or whatever, so you have loads of comments either side, innit? And it can be water off the duck's back. So basically, yeah, you might say something to someone, and man might come here and say something to you, and you go home, you don't care. But if man come here and fuck you up, then you're gonna at least have a think about it for the rest of the day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
But it's not gonna solve the problem though, is it?
Why not?
Because like again, like the beating is not going to solve anything. That's just like momentarily.
It's a deterrent, isn't it? Like that's like saying that
it's a deterrent. Like it's a deterrent. It's a dumb deterrent. Because the reason being is like, let's say for example we all beat up Tan, right?
What channel is this?
We all beat up Tan. This is all recorded on camera. Every single one of us here is going to spend a night in jail. Every single one of us is going to be facing a court case, and every single one of us may be facing some prison time. No, I'm saying to you, yeah. If you're caught as well, right? Like all of those things is gonna happen, right? And to me, that's not a smart way of dealing with your problems. You could have done it very smartly, yeah, by simply saying complain. I lodge a complaint. Tan is no longer allowed in Speaker's Corner. No longer. But guess what? You decided to remove yourself from the Speaker's Corner because you wanted to show that you're a hard man.
No,
that's dumb.
Demonic. Man has been writing that for 10 years.
It's not about showing man's heart.
The mum's demonic, man.
And like for me, innit, I'm not always like advocate for violence.
Your mum's a semen demon.
Sometimes.
M-Cinco, your mum's a semen demon.
I'm like, say for example with the children, my daughter, like,
she's a sin gin.
if there was a situation where she ended up getting in a madness where she was fighting,
I'm outside still chilling.
And I saw an opportunity, I'll be like, yo, don't do it like that.
Jedi is
That's
a
how you're gonna
convict.
get fucked up.
Jedi,
You see what I'm saying?
Jedi, no job.
Even if a
Jedi's
situation
got
where
more
the
jobs
kids
than any of you.
like,
lot.
make sure I was a
You guys
bit
got no money.
in a situation where
Get
she's
your
gonna
racks
come
out.
out cleaning. You see what I'm saying? Like, say she might be playing with
Yeah.
her
What you
toy,
should do, that's
and
what
a
I'm
next
saying.
kid
All the
comes
ballers
and takes
come
it
down
from
with
her
their
and
money
fighting with her.
and show
Now
us
come
how
over
much
to her
money
and
they
say,
really got.
the way you was holding
they
it
keep talking
was
about
out
this money
the
there.
bit would have been better if you was holding it there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's not put them in a part where they're getting in trouble.
Yeah.
All your energy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, now, like, before you telling him that he can't hit, like, hit back here, now you're creating this for him because originally he's feeling like he can defend himself. Now you're programming his mind to think that it's not smart to defend himself because now in the situation you're not there. In the future you're not there in the situation. Yeah. So now he's got to be thinking. This situation's a bit different than the one where he told him. So now he's got.
So I would say to him, utilize self-defense. Don't attack another person. Utilize self-defense and do it. I know. I'm saying like do it in righteousness, right? Do it in righteousness. If you're gonna utilize self-defense, do it in righteousness. Like if you don't need to actually physically fight a person, don't fight a person. Don't think you're the big because you have the power to actually beat up this person. Don't do it because you feel as though you can win this fight. Be smart. Sometimes you can walk away from a fight, and still win.
Of course, man, do that all the time.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, like sometimes,
Like 15 minutes left.
What has been
Yeah.
called the dumb thing, it's not so dumb. You see what I'm saying?
I want to say to you, if the consequences are going to be more detrimental to you than be beneficial to you, it's gonna be a dumb thing to do if you actually want to create violence.
But how can you weigh the consequences of something that never happened?
Because for me, I'll be thinking like a few steps ahead, and I'll teach my child to think a few steps ahead.
Yeah, but you might be wrong.
Do you know Kalan?
I could be wrong.
Okay. Do you know me?
Like just from hangouts.
Okay. I'm not sure what your name is or who you are. Yeah?
Coach Ali Black.
Oh, Coach. Come on, man. So I'm just asking you now. Like, do you find? I don't know. You've been having this conversation for how long? Yeah. How genuine is? What is it you think is going on in this conversation? Are you dealing with someone that believes what he's saying, or what's going on? Because I'm trying to understand where you lot are trying to get with this. I don't see how. I don't know. Do you feel? I could ask you. Where do you think this conversation is going with you and this brother? Like, what is it? Are you building on this?
I think we're having an enlightening moment of how we actually operate in a system. Operate in a system, number one, and how we operate as a people when conflict arises amongst us. So yeah,
how we operate, or how you operate,
how we should operate, and how we do operate. This is individually as a people.
This is what you like discussing. How we should operate.
Yeah.
Not me
So how he operates, how I operate, and I'm saying we're now deciding
he's questioning how you operate.
Yeah.
So when you say we, you mean you two?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it's an all-inclusive we.
No, we're talking about our own specific things with our children, his daughter, my son, and so forth, and which one is the best outcome. We're also speaking about, as a community, what we can do.
So what is it in a nutshell?
Smart, how to react.
Yeah.
So what is it in a nutshell?
It's about how you deal with conflict.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So how do we deal with conflict then?
To me, it depends on the situation. You see what I'm saying? It's no blanket. That's what I was trying to say to him. With like when you're teaching your child, like you should just tell the teacher. Yeah, not always is the case. Like me, when I talk to my daughter, I don't ever give her like the quick answer in it. Yeah, I like to give her like the breakdown. Like say for example, when you're running for that bus, you better run that way, and then I'll go. But boy, if that way is blocked, you might want to go this way. Like more alternatives, and so she can get a greater understanding of, so she can make the decision herself. Because at the end of the day, what you think is smart, it's just your opinion.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right. So,
like, you might need to go through a situation that is not a good situation to then like overcome something that you wasn't ready for. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So as we were saying, like I was saying, you need to think either. You need to teach your children to think both intellectually and righteously. So from a moral standpoint and from an intelligent standpoint as well. So intelligent standpoint. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So if we're talking about what we're talking about right there is that you stand up for yourself if you're in righteousness, and you stand up for yourself both intellectually first, and if it's the case that you need to physically defend yourself, then physically defend yourself.
Let me say this.
But don't abuse your power. So if you believe you can beat up this person right here, don't do it because you have the ability. No, that's what I'm saying. But if there's a conflict between me and him, if there's a conflict between me and him, and I know I'm in the right, yeah, But and I know I could beat him up, yeah. Sometimes, like, think morally where you don't need to beat him up.
Yeah,
like,
abusing your power is not just
him.
about being able to beat someone up.
See what I'm saying?
I agree with him. But like, obviously, you can abuse your power even if you know you can't beat that person up. But yeah, even if you know you can't beat that person up, but you understand that the weight of the law, or the weight of society's perceptions are on your side, and you can utilize that perceived weakness as a weapon. This is what you call passive aggression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just someone that dominates or clearly has the ability to dominate that can do that. Yeah. It's also those that seem in the eyes of stereotype to be weak or play against that.
You could be
They're the
someone
ones that actually
abuses your intellectual power.
Yeah.
You saying Kaiser Soze?
You see what I'm saying? Take a man around rabbit holes and then, you know, semantics, and then at the same time back on the man, and then
you've seen a lot of them videos where the white woman's like, help, and the man's just filming like, right, I ain't even doing shit to you. Yeah, she obviously is aware of how the system works anyway. That's right, feel me. So she's willing to manipulate that, and so that makes her the aggressor, even though physically she could never be on that same level.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And that's why you need to also be righteous and not be like that woman. Just because you're.
So one more thing, yeah. Like, say you're a unit, yeah. Say he's gonna, like, you tell him to tell the teacher, yeah. But what if he knows, if he tells the teacher, that he's gonna get beaten up?
Okay, so again, I would tell him to stop the situation, de-escalate the situation. Okay, and if the person is not trying to de-escalate, then go ahead and tell the teacher.
Yeah, but if he believes that telling the teacher is now going to cause more escalation after,
then you tell me. Yes.
No one gets banned on it.
Then you tell me.
You can keep running, man.
Right, tell the authority figures. At school, it's your teacher. At home, it's me.
Yeah, because, like, say for example, back in the days in school, after school, you still got to get home to tell you. Well, nowadays, I suppose, man can just call you or whatever. You get me, yeah? But it's like, boom, afterwards, man's told the teacher, now, man are waiting for him outside because he's snitching, you get me?
And if the school is good enough,
is that smart?
And if the school is good enough, those people would get a severe punishment.
That's what someone said. Without sleep.
Yeah, but really and truly, in kids fighting, what severe punishment can man get?
Like, we used to receive like isolations. That was like minor, and then we also used to receive exclusions. And going. The problem wasn't even detention or exclusion or isolations. It was going home to our parents. Like, we feared our parents more. Like, we really believed that we was going to be killed when we got home. You dig what I'm saying? So, and those people ain't got it. Like, they've moved school. They're no longer a problem to yourself or anybody else.
So now, you saying they've moved school?
Yeah. Like, sometimes, you know, we had the centres that they go to, like these troubled children go to.
Because, alright, say for example, you beating up your youth, but no one, you ain't never doing it on camera.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's your word, his word against your youth. So now, they can't exclude the kid.
They really can, because the time I took him out the
They really can.
cafe,
They really can. Trust me.
So
I remember we was in school, bro. Like, I used to think to myself, how the hell am I in trouble, bro? Like, it was only me and him.
Because EBTV.
Am I in trouble? You think what I'm saying? So no, they have
the way he uses his eyes to plead with the humanity in me. I hope this big black ape,
I'm part of the British culture.
Big black ape ain't gonna crush me right now.
The British culture
That's why he's gone home behind his little keyboard.
Do you accept that?
Bruv, raise your kids, bruv. Suck out, man. We're out here,
basically, once I got on the wrong train.
EBTV.
I got the wrong train.
New logo and everything. Same shook one. New logo. New logo, same thing.
The train was packed.
Hey, bruv, did you see this guy? If you ever saw him, man was laughing.
No one wanted to come and sit next to me.
I said to him,
I never felt that the British culture.
Yeah.
Oh, but why?
So you was amongst race.
So
Would
what
you say you're amongst
race?
race?
Being a part of the British culture that didn't want to sit next to me.
So it's not British. That's not part of British culture itself. That's part of people that may be racist.
How should
anything you want to say about Jedi? Yeah,
That's
make sure you say it
that's
now.
not
on a scale of 1 to 10, EBTV, how scared was you?
Say at Jedi, innit? Anything you want to say about Jedi? At Jedi,
The British culture
EBTV
is not racist. No,
he was talking some shit. He was so scared.
Has the British
rich guy
has the
named
British
himself
practiced
after,
racism? Yes, they have.
do a line on camera. I don't do a line nowhere, bro.
As in the system, or as in the people, like the individual members. Like individual members are racist.
Because he ain't identified
No, white man. I don't wanna hear
anybody
that.
of what his
I don't wanna hear
culture.
that.
Yeah. So individual people are racist in British society, and there is most probably hangovers of architecture. Let me make that make more sense. Of There may be
All
hangovers
you
of
lot are beta
policies
males and beta
or
females,
structures
bro.
that's been put in place.
Beta males
that
and
may
beta
still
females,
have
all
that
of you, cooks.
racial hangover.
One bag of
British
betas.
culture used to be.
Yo, you lot were saying bad things about Jedi.
And when did it
They're pussies, man.
When did it stop being racist?
What was the change?
Okay, so like the people themselves affect the culture.
By classism and
The people themselves affect the culture, and I think British
These
people
voyeurs, why don't you
understand
cook
that they
them?
were themselves were being racist, and they actually affected change in policies to
Next
decrease
person to tag Jedi is a
racism,
Batman.
tackle racism, basically.
Are people still these policies that you put in place?
Scheme.
Are still being racist and getting punished for it?
EBTV,
Yeah, people
shut
are-
up, man.
of course,
EB
like, people are
Media,
being punished by it.
shut up, man. Get a life, man. What
If
do you
that's
actually
the
do?
case,
What media do you
If
put out
people
there?
was now
Waste.
stop being
Man's will
racist,
spending
then
more
we wouldn't
time
need to
making
policies,
logos
yeah?
than actual content.
then
No
wouldn't that
content
mean
coming from
that
this youth.
Macaulay
Where's your
was
content,
racist?
EBTV,
No, it
bro?
means that people inside the
Shook
culture is
one.
racist.
You know me?
There's
Man
people
was
inside the
pleading,
culture that can
pleading with
support
the eyes, you know, fam.
Okay, so
Like,
now
don't
for
kill me,
it to
fam.
be-
Like, you should have seen
When
it.
inside the culture. So how many people, like what percentage would it need to be
I don't
for it to be the culture?
Culture is transcendental. It's not part. It's not physical. Human beings are physical. So culture are things that you're educated. Culture is something that you're educated on. It's passed down from generation to generation by your peers, by your system, by the media, and everything like that. It's giving you culture, right? So the people themselves, so the people themselves, they can have racist views, but it's not something that's been permeated by the culture.
On his, Jedi is shook, man. Forget about Raj. Jedi is
That's a very good question. I can't even.
Why
I'll be
would you
making
smoke a
something up.
spliff
I
if
could
you
give
don't
you,
get high?
you know,
Who tells
criteria
you
that you
smoking
can
a spliff?
choose. But I'm
Could be
gonna say
tobacco.
it'll be me making
Sucks up special, man.
Intellectual,
Yeah.
aggressive,
Yeah, but I'm not going to. That's just that'll be me being disingenuous.
I'm not allowed to smoke Golden Virginia. You're racist, man. That's racist. Racist. Not racist. Racist. Racist.
All right, we're trying to get home. Are we trying to get home to our families? Let us know.
No, we have no jobs and no family.
That's family. It's these that ain't got no family. It's these that want us to go on forever and ever because they got no life. If it could be Big Brother, like 24 hours, these men will be up 4 o'clock watching what Jedi's doing, saying, yeah, Jedi's a waste man. Not going to sleep, not having a job, no shifts. When's your next shift? Half of you lot. Half of these men have got Asperger's or on the autistic spectrum. It's so deep, bro.
Be careful now.
What?
Be careful.
What?
No, I'm joking.
Be careful of what?
Somebody might come down and stick it on you.
Like what?
For saying about that.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Someone done
Why would it be a
No,
yeah?
I'm
But
saying
you're
somebody
gonna stick it on me.
sorry.
Why would it be a condition if it was normalcy? Why would they label it autism if it was just normalcy? So if I can't point out that you may be on the autistic spectrum, I ain't downgrading you. I'm talking the truth. This is a category that you may fit in terms of your social flexibility. That's true. I didn't create the term. Create the term autism. You hear me? Raj is autistic. He said it himself. He's got Asperger's, and you get me. This is why he feels he doesn't get on with people. But obviously he's at home online, isn't it? That's why the online community is one of a lot of specially talented people, man. Gold stickers. Gold stickers, man. Salute to you, look, man.
Let's get a light onto you. You're shining right now.
Thank you, bro.
4 minutes. Any last things that you like to say?
You might as well talk about the gang one.
Talk about the gang.
I'm shocked that you couldn't separate whether you was British or Nigerian.
Nope. I say we're a combination of all.
Where you?
Okay.
Can't speak for me, bro.
Alright.
Man's already told you man's not British. Who's watching porn? What are you not talking
They're
about?
saying this Jedi still watch porn.
What porn? What porn are you talking about,
They
bro?
said they watch porn in the first place.
That's Rajiv, ain't Rajiv that does the porn? Well, I think, what are they saying? Any black guy looks the same or something?
Oh, y'all look alike.
Oh, man, fuck that, man. Who told you I got any association with porn, bro?
Angela Murner said you was being horrible to Raj. You was being horrible to Raj. That was horrible.
Raj has never been horrible to anybody.
What's your question about the single? What's the correlation between single parent households and crime?
And what?
And crime.
Online arsewipe.
Online arsewipe.
He's got the stats. Seen the stats. Seen the fucking stats, ain't you? Danny Dyer. Seen the stats. You fucking seen the stats, ain't you? You fuckers. You fucking fuckers. You gang fuckers.
I asked the white world. You want me to the white world? You know that atheist funny. Okay. Jedi's getting bare love in the chat. Give me a 1 if you love Jedi, yeah? Give me a 2 if you hate Jedi. Give me a 1 if you love Jedi and 2 if you hate Jedi, yeah? Come on, dash in your ones. 1-1.
Kalal trying to do some filming. I've got him. He's talking about autism. I'm going to do a 2-hour show and really kill him. I don't care. You have to understand.
1-1-1, 2.
You got to exist outside of what other people want you to be or expect you to be. You have to exist outside of that. Until then, you get confused and do weird moves. It's cool, man. You know what? Even if I had more hate, then that would mean that there's more people in the world that love me, bro. It's cool. All the haters seem to be congregating. Thank you, man. Respect for the love, man. But it still has no bearing on how I see myself. Get me? It still means nothing to me. It's a bag of numbers, bro. Yeah? Turn that into tenors and I'll be like, rah, I'm rated out here. Turn it into 50s and I'll be like, rah, I'm loved out here. Until then, it's ones, isn't it? Yeah? I ask you lot to come out to the G circle, yeah? Turn your ones into presents. You feel like man's out here to get like popularity. I would have gone down next man's route if I just wanted to be popular.
That's good. You wouldn't be rude if you did.
Suck yourself, Callum. How about that? Suck out, Callum, man.
Hey, wait, man told Callum to suck out.
Suck out, man. Callum can suck out, man. You're a fuck, man.
Oh, man.
He's still my brother, though, but he can suck out. It's a casual term, isn't it? Meaning to just do something else, isn't it? And annoy me, innit?
It's like fuck off, mate.
It's like fuck off, mate. Do one, mate.
0-1-2.
Jog on. That's what we say around here. Jog on or suck out, mate. Really? I am. And I accept the label royally, bro. But you can't. You can't do that with me. You can't work with me. Say that what? Because it's shit, bro. It's a shit religion created by Charles Russell Taze, who's a fucking Mason. Yeah, white supremacist buried in the fucking Texas Freemasonical cemetery under a massive pyramid. Like, yeah, man, I'm above that. But yeah, man, one thing I will say about the Jehovah's Witnesses is they do definitely study the Bible. So if you want to study the Bible, they're definitely ones to look for because they're really into studying the Bible. And they have unique interpretations from mainstream Christianity. But in the whole, it's a Freemasonical fucking cult. That's how I look at it from the outside. Really. I was only a youth brought up in it, so it's not like I got baptized or was entrenched in the religion for too long. But as soon as I had my autonomy, as soon as I had my freedom of choice, I decided I had nothing to do with it. That's it, man. It's dead, isn't it?
Okay. Would you ever take your shahada? Would you ever want to be a Muslim? Why would you? I would never say never. I would never say never to anything. But right about now, I just feel like religion isn't the direction I'm going in. Like spirituality is a religion, so I don't see myself looking to join any kind of mainstream religion. So in all honesty, I don't. But I would never say never. You never know. There could be somebody that could enlighten me and I take my shahada. What you think I'm going to take my spiritual future? Like I'm going to care what any of you lot think about where I'm going with my spirit. Half of you lot don't even have a concept of spirit.
How would you describe spirituality?
I wouldn't.
Hey, Jedi, listen to this question. Do you think if they stopped teaching children religion as an adult, you would want to be religious?
Yeah, but if they stop teaching it like RE in school.
Come take over everything from your humanity.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
In the interest of the global elite, you see. And I'm an independent nationalist, and I think we should find what is in common with the different nationalist groups, because I'm not very capable, I'm just an ordinary sort of person, an ordinary IQ, and try and get past the truth, because if you're looking for the truth, you shouldn't be arguing over petty things.
So it does seem like we are arguing now over anything. It's like he said that, and because I hate him,